Okay. Hey, hello everyone. Thanks a lot for joining. For whoever's joined, we're going to start really soon. Meanwhile, I would love to know where you are tuning in from. So maybe in the chat box, put a little bit about yourself, maybe introduce yourself. We can have a nice small chat before we can go live, before we can start the webinar. And I would love to know where you're coming from. So let's see in the chat. So maybe you can just type in your country. What do you do? Are you a student? Are you a working professional? Would love to know more about you. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining. Okay, we see someone from Philippines and they are a proprietor. Okay, hi, nice to meet you. Who else? Who else? Where are we joining in from? Good afternoon. Simon here from Manila, Philippines, working professional for aid agency. Hello, Simon. So good to see you, all of you. And we have people from insurance. Nice. Philippines. Hello, everyone. So nice to meet you guys. So we'll wait one more minute before we start the webinar. We'll introduce ourselves. We'll see where we all are coming from. So we have a IT freelance hardware retailer from Philippines. Hello, hi. Tuning in from Manila, Philippines. Excited to learn about how to apply digital marketing in your real estate business. Wow, that's really nice to know that you have real estate business. I'm sure the course is going to help you a lot. And I'm sure we'll be able to answer all your questions about not only the course, but everything regarding the course in this webinar. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining. And happy to know more about you. Who else do we have? From Philippines. Okay, nice. So thanks a lot for joining, guys. I'm sure you sound like a really excited crowd. So I'm sure this is going to be a nice webinar. We'll cover all the topics from what the program is about. We'll answer all of the questions and we'll get to know each other. Okay, so let's get started. Let's understand a bit more about why we are here and what the program is all about. So welcome all to the pre-program information webinar for the Postgraduate Certificate in Digital Marketing with Asian Institute of Management and Emeritus. The idea for today, so before we move on to that, for anyone who's new and who are facing issues with Zoom, there's three different things I would like to tell you. First, if you are facing any audio issues, or if you're not able to hear me properly, in which case you don't know what I'm saying, you just have to select the bottom left of your Zoom screen and click on this option which says, select a speaker built-in output headphones. So if you're facing any audio issues, this is the solution. If you have any questions for the panelists, if you have any questions for me, for Professor Alberto, who is going to be the speaker for today, and or for the Emeritus team, feel free to put your questions in the Q&A box, which you'll see here. If you have any chat item, you can put them in chat. If you have any question, you can put them in the Q&A box. And if there's a lot of chat going on and it's becoming disturbing to you, if it's kind of a distraction, you can simply click on the chat box here, which will disable it. So you'll be able to focus on what we're talking today. So yeah, that's about Zoom. If you still have any questions about Zoom, feel free to put that in the Q&A box. While I'm talking, while Professor will be talking, there will be our team who will keep reading your questions and keep answering them all the time. So feel free to put your questions in the Q&A box. Okay, so what's the agenda today? What is it that we are going to talk about? I'll quickly do a rundown on what the agenda is. So first, we'll know about the Asian Institute of Management, about Emeritus, about the partnership for both the institutes. Uh, we'll know about the webinar speaker. We'll know about the moderator. It's me. Hi. We'll get an overview of the program. We'll get the understanding of who the faculties are going to be. We'll also get small highlights on how the program will look like. We'll see how we will learn, what the journey or what the learning journey is like. We'll also see how the certificate and badges are. So once you complete the program, you'll get the certificate and a badge, and we'll see how they look like. We'll also see the alumni. We'll also understand the alumni benefits from the AIM, from the Asian Institute of Management, once you have completed the program. There are some program details that we'll share, and then we'll move on to the Q&A part of the webinar, where we'll live answer any of the questions regarding the program, regarding um, anything around it, right? So that's the agenda for today, and we just hope we are able to answer your questions. And yeah, so about Asian Institute of Management. So the Asian Institute of Management is an Asian pioneer in management education. The institute was founded in 1968 by a consortium of prominent business leaders, Philippine academic institutions, and the Harvard Business School. So AIM is the first school in South Asia to receive accreditation from the US-based Association to advance collegiate schools in businesses. So there's a lot more to know about Asian Institute of Management, and you'll learn more definitely. So about Emeritus, the Asian Institute of Management is collaborating with Emeritus to offer a portfolio of high impact online programs. Uh, this one is one of them. So working with Emeritus gives EIM the advantage, of broadening the access beyond the offline campus, by going online, by giving or providing such engaging live online formats of learning. So Emeritus's approach to learning is to build a cohort-based design to maximize peer-to-peer sharing. So when you are going to learn here, you'll have a lot of P2P, peer-to-peer interaction with your classmates, with other participants who are a part of the program, which will also include live video lectures with world-class faculty, of course, from AIM, and hands-on project-based learning. So Emeritus has had 66,000 students from over 160 countries who's learned through Emeritus. So yeah, that's the brief of what Emeritus is. So the speaker for today is Professor Alberto, who is a seasoned business leader, educator, and a certified coach. He's earned his coaching certification from the Neuro Leadership Institute and is currently a practicing executive coach. Professor Mateo brings with him 34 years of progressive experience in the fields of general management, finance, human resources, and management education with multinational sales organizations and academic institutions. So he currently is the head of the School of Executive Education and Lifelong Learning at the Asian Institute of Management. Before joining AIM, he was the president and managing director of HP and Pfizer Inc. in the Philippines. A little bit about me: I'm the program leader. I have worked with more than 30 startups as a marketing consultant. I have written, authored, or co authored a bestseller book on growth marketing, have had multiple experiences on growing businesses from scratch to something. And currently, I work as the regional manager for South Asia at a company called Angel Hack, where I take care of sales, BD, partnerships, outreach, and event marketing. So that's the gist. I'll hand it over to Professor Alberto. Take it forward from here, explain you more about the program, and then I'll see you again at the end.
All right. So thank you very much, Deep. All right. So and good afternoon again, everyone, for joining us in this pre-program information webinar. All right. I'll be sharing with you, maybe in our next slide, Deep. We will be sharing with you the various modules now that are included in this postgraduate certificate in digital marketing. We're very excited in this particular first partnership program that we have with Emeritus, so that we can get actually expand our access no, to a lot of quality programs of the Asian Institute of Management, not only in the Philippines, but also around Asia. So my role today is to give you a backdrop and a flavor of what to expect when you enroll in the program. And then I'll also introduce to you the different faculty who will be teaching in the program, as well as our learning journey. All right. So in module one, all right. So we essentially we have designed this program into five modules. All right, and the objective of the modules is to be able to actually create some sort of a ladderized learning pathway, so that you can really embrace digital marketing, no, in your respective organizations, in your respective brands or companies. So in module number one, we just wanted to highlight, for example, we go back to the basics and the fundamentals of marketing management, because in the end, no matter how we experience we are in the fields of marketing, in the fields of product management, brand campaigns, advertising agencies, and in business in general, sometimes it is good for us to really go back, to the basic essential elements of what constitute a good marketing, right? So that's why we have lined up in module one topics around marketing techniques, for example, and how to master the role of sales and advertising, for example, in the way we promote our products, and as well as how do we now incorporate the a new way of doing things as far as product development is concerned, given that we are all entering in a digital space. No? And of course, in the end of this module, we will define what are the different elements, no, of a good marketing plan. So that will be the essential elements, no, of module one. And then after that, we will now segue to now module two, wherein we will now start to introduce already digital marketing. So in here, because we wanted to create a good bridge between your understanding of the current, maybe current or traditional or offline type of marketing activities into digital. So that's why we will start with an introduction about the science of digital marketing, as well as differentiate the various social media platforms, no, and how they are actually playing a role in our digital marketing strategies. And then we will now compare that with very traditional and the tried and tested marketing strategies that we all have been implementing over the years, no, so that you can be able to now distill how you can bridge and transition from your current platform into a digital environment, no, and develop the appropriate marketing strategies for them. Then in module two, so after you have defined your a marketing plan, for example, in module one, in module two, we will now refine it, no, so that you can actually incorporate the digital part of your marketing plan, right? And that will now segue very well to our module three, which is about marketing analytics. The science behind the digital marketing is that as and when you now start to invest, for example, in digital journey, transforming a lot of your practices in communicating with your customers, promoting your products, creating your promotions, making people customers be activated, for example, in patronizing your products and services, there will be tons and opportunity for you to actually amass a lot of information, right? And information or data points, no, as we capture them in our different touch points with the customer, will be meaningless if we actually don't convert them into useful marketing information that can guide us, no, in refining our strategy, creating a marketing insight about the changing behaviors, for example, of our customers, and then so that you now be able to now create a new customer journey mapping, no, because a lot of times a lot of companies actually just go into the mode of their business as usual kind of selling, promoting, advertising, and then capturing the value of such activities, no, but we actually do not maximize the possibilities, no, what the marketing, all the marketing information and data that we have available either in our ERP systems, maybe in our CRM, in our loyalty programs, for example, and whether in all of the social media activities that you're doing. So how are you now connecting all of this information together so that you can be able to actually produce a very, very good insight that you can actually incorporate as part of your marketing strategy? So after you have already understood the different techniques, no, that we can do in order for us to analyze all of the various marketing information that we have in our different information systems. Then it will now create to you how can you now alter or improve the customer journey and the different touch points that they are doing when they're interacting with your product or your brand. And of course, in the end, we will now talk about how you now address or adjust your social media campaign after incorporating such marketing insights. All right. And then we'll now go into module four. All right. So in module four, after you now have done your marketing analytics, that's the time we will now introduce more advanced topics about digital marketing. Because digital marketing is not really about just being present in Facebook. You will have your own, about your own e-commerce platform, your own website, and all of, the different things that you post in your social media account. No, it's not about that alone. So in advanced digital marketing, we will be sharing with you some of the more advanced topics that you need to be aware of in order for you to be able to maximize the transformation and investment that you have done in migrating your traditional marketing platforms into your digital space. Right, so it may include already content marketing. How can you capture attention? With all the noise that is happening, for example, in Facebook, how can you now penetrate all of those noise and be able to capture the interests of the target audience that you wanted to have? How can you be able to whenever people are searching, for example, in the internet using Google search engines? No? So how do you can now make sure that you make use of a lot of the keywords in order for your brand or your website or your particular campaigns to be searchable, and then they'll be because customers will be able to see them much clearly and much ahead of the other organization. It's not a matter of just posting something and miraculously things will happen, right? So there is a particular science that go into that, whether you are doing business to business kind of marketing campaigns or a business to consumer type of campaign. So there is going to be a lot of newer things that you'll be able to learn how to maximize email marketing. For example, what can you do in order for you to be able to ensure that all of your emails will not actually land in spam folders of people? Because at the end of the day, there's nothing much benefit of doing that. No, you think that you are actually campaigning and providing information to your customers, not knowing that a lot of your emails are actually landing just in spam folders of people. And when people do not open them, then there's as if you did not actually do your marketing campaign altogether. So you have to understand what are the nuances, no, that actually that you can learn in order for you to mitigate a lot of these things. Whenever you're using a lot of social media, definitely you'll have to learn about mobile marketing, how to recruit, for example, new customers, new interested people in your domain, so that whether they are not buying yet the product, but essentially, how do you establish a relationship with these people into their different journey of engaging with your brand? Because in the traditional sense, in the traditional world, we essentially engage all of our customers who have already somehow are very much interested to buy the products. No, but in the digital space, there is a science in order for us to activate different people in their different stages of interest about your product or about your service. So those are the things that you will have to that you'll be learning, no, as part and parcel of the postgraduate certificate in digital marketing. So, and all of this will now read down to product management or brand management, no? Because at the end of the day, what we are here is about managing the image, no? The image and the loyalty of your customers to your brand. So, module 5, we will now cap all of your learning for all this digital marketing into brand management. Because at the end of the day, we are doing a lot of this online and offline type of marketing campaigns with the end in view of promoting and achieving our brand objectives, no, whether that is to increase revenue, to increase the number of customers, for example, that you're going to have for the brand, to increase the profitability of the brand, to increase the market share of the brand relative to its competitors. So at the end of all of this, you will have to incorporate that into your brand plan. right? And how mental availability and physical availability in the digital world as well as in the physical space can actually interface with how you manage your product or your brand, no? And of course some relevant topics, for example, on online shopping and some trends on how to leverage on what we can do when we are here in the pandemic situation about pandemic marketing. So that's why if you notice, the one thing unique about the postgraduate certificate in digital marketing of AIM is that it's going to be a holistic journey, right? Coming from your marketing to digital marketing analytics, advanced topics in digital marketing, then eventually capping it with how does all of these things no enhance the beauty of your brand. All right, so the next slide will actually show us the different components no of the various learning materials as well as the faculty. So maybe Deep, if you can move the slide for me, please. Yes, thank you. So at the end of the program, you will now be able to, when you enroll in this 25 half-day postgraduate certificate in digital marketing, you'll be able to develop and implement the appropriate marketing strategies, no, in order for your company or your brand to be very relevant, no, in the digital space. Because a lot of companies are really struggling, no, to embrace digital transformation because no, they don't know where to start. So this particular program will enable either product managers, those people in the advertising business, those people in specific business like real estate, in retail. If you are in software development, buying and selling things. For example, if you have your commercial products that you wanted to make available to your consumers online, so you'll now be able to now develop a relevant brand strategy, and we will guide you how to be able to do that. You'll be able to summarize different customer journeys and how the different elements in our business environment can impact such plans and programs. We will identify very well the different key elements and key touch points about the customer journey, because without having to understand those and identify those will not be very useful even if you are actually transitioning into digital, because the customer journey in a brick and mortar environment is going to be totally different, no, from a customer journey that starts with in the digital space. All right, and of course, develop. Of course, we will ask you to develop your own marketing plan, coming from a traditional plan, enhancing it with the digital marketing strategy, as well as incorporating some more teeth when we use marketing analytics, and of course, incorporate the plan and programs for the products, so that you can actually be able to recognize various practical tips that our different professors will actually share with you. You will also learn with the different participants, no, through the various interactive components that we have incorporated as part of the program, so that you will not only learn from the professors, you will not only learn from the case studies and the use cases that we're going to use, you're also going to learn from the different practitioners, no, that are enrolling in the program. And of course, eventually have a new perspective, no, in actually managing marketing and as well as managing your product and the brands. All right. So Deep, next slide will actually show the different faculty. No, so we have organized a team of seasoned faculty as part of this program. First of all, we do have Professor Rico Camus. He's actually a clinical professor, and he's currently the academic program director of our master's degree, all right, in science and innovation and business. So this is, if you will remember, we are forming part of the School of Executive Education and Lifelong Learning. So that those are our non-degree programs. But you will see that the beauty about AIM, respect to the other training providers, is that the faculty that we use in our master's degree are the very same professors that we use, for example, in our executive program. So you can actually have the best of both worlds, having to not to resign from your work and enter our full-time program. and as well as capitalize on the different learnings that we normally teach in the MBA without having to enroll, no, and in a full-time program like a Master of Science in Innovation and Business. So Professor Rico Camus came from, as an innovation officer, and of course did a lot of stint, for example, in different roles in planning, in analysis, and business development from ABS-CBN. That was he spent a lot of time there, more than 15 years of being with the organization. And prior to that, he was also with Globe Telecoms, no, handling different aspects of business development as well as marketing. Then Professor Steph Guerrero is actually a marketing director of Tim Hortons, and you can see in her background, she has actually joined different innovative brands like Uber Philippines and of course Citibank. No? So you can actually and she will be handling the digital marketing component, and because she's currently also an active practitioner of this particular field. All right. So yes, you can. Yes. So the next one after Professor Steph is Professor Ricky Espinosa or Pablo Espinosa. So as you can see in his background, he's actually a brand person. All right. So in all of his roles, for example, he was with Pfizer before. He actually managed brands for Smart. He was a group product manager for YF Pharmaceutical Nutritionals. Also handled different brands of Alaska milk, and of course, currently is the current vice president of marketing of Personal Collection, which is a direct selling organization. So you can see the slew of different experiences of Professor Ricky in managing a product depending on the different areas, no? Whether technology, FMCG, as well as entrepreneurial type of businesses. And of course, we do have Professor Matthew Escobedo, who is our guru of analytics, no, at AIM. So he's currently a consultant. He has a own consulting company and also been involved with Intel before, as well as a Silicon Valley integrator. No, so he actually facilitate a lot of investment opportunities that are happening within Silicon Valley and some of the techpreneurs, no, that are doing a lot of startups in the Philippines. So you can see that all of the faculty that we have are practitioners in their own field. We are not going to just provide you, trainers who actually are trained on how to do, presentations, but essentially all of this faculty have been there, have done that, and they will actually be facilitating a conversation between around the different practices that you can learn from, from various experiences of different companies around the world that we have access to because of our more than 50 years of experience now being a business school, a top business school in the Philippines as well as in Asia. All right. So next slide, Deep. So the program will actually be, as I mentioned, interactive. No, so the first component of that will be a live virtual session with the professor. So this is one unique thing that is happening for this cohort because definitely you will see a live professor, no, there in the class. No, so which is a totally unique difference between the other available, digital programs where you see videotape professors, no, or lecturers. So here you'll be able to see the professors live, and you will have an ability to have an interaction and discussion with your classmates who are participating in the program. Essentially, there will definitely be assignments, particularly applying the different concepts in your respective organizations. We will share with you case studies so that we will also learn and get insights from proven strategies that have been conducted, no, and done by different organizations who were there ahead of us as far as digital transformation is concerned. And of course, in the end, we will cap your learning, okay, as far as applying it in your own company, and you will have your capstone project, no, to be able to uh, maximize, no, the amount of investment that you have invested in yourself, no, to become a digital marketer. All right. So I hope that this particular program details were able to provide you a lot of good information about what is the program all about, and so that you'll be able to consider it, no, as we actually start the program sometime later this May. Okay. With that, then let me turn you over again to Deep to provide more information. Okay, about
Okay.
the enrollment.
Yeah, thank you so much, Professor. Wasn't this amazing? Like, I know I love the whole introduction. I love how the program goes. I'll quickly reshare my screen. I'm seeing that there are some issues on that, but thank you so much, Professor, for the introduction. Um, and I hope this screen is visible now. So yeah, always gets me excited. So much nice content to learn, so much practical experiences to gain. In fact, I saw a Q&A. Will of course address all of them later, but I saw that someone asked that if they are going to actually do ads, which is spot on, because we are like one of the assignments you will actually make your own ad on Google. So that's really exciting, and I'm sure this is going to be a lot of value to you. Okay, so the learning journey, how are you going to learn? What is the environment going to look like? Is the next slide that I'll take. So there will be an orientation week, which will, of course, be the first week when the program starts. During the week, you'll get introduced to all the participants, will get to interact with them. And, these people, like all of these participants, are from all over the world. So, of course, your network is your net worth. So you'll get to meet a lot of new people and of course be friends with them and learn from them as well. Plus you'll also get will also help you get familiarized with the learning management system that we'll use, which is the platform, which is the web app that you'll use to actually learn the content. uh, of course, apart from the live ones, because live will do on Zoom, which is something that you know how to work with. We'll set goals, so you'll have learning goals set throughout the whole program, including completion of the assignments for each week or each set of time. All assignments, of course, will have weekly deadlines. There will be live online video lectures, as Professor mentioned, done by the faculty of Asian Institute of Management. We saw who the faculties are, amazing people with great experiences at a large scale. And you will have the ability to clarify your doubts and follow up with any other questions that you may have, which is where the program leader or I will come in to help you, with any issues, any questions, any additional support, any resources that you may need apart from the live stream, that the faculties will take care of. So yeah, there will be office hours where you can ask questions that I'll respond to. You'll have um, help desk where you can go and ask questions. There will be multiple ways that you can get in touch with me or the professors, where will help and support you throughout the whole course of the program. So that is the learning journey. The certificate and the badge is the one of the exciting parts, right? So once you complete the program, you'll get a verified digital certificate and a badge from the Asian Institute of Management, signed by Professor Alberto, as you can see here. And it also credits you with 5 units of the credit from the EIM's postgraduate diploma in management. Isn't that exciting? So that's the certificate and the badge. So there are a lot of benefits as an alumni of AIM. So once you take this course, once you complete this course, of course you become an alumni and you get to access all of these benefits. Let me just run through a few. One is, the alumni network of AIM is huge. They have 44,000 alumni in 83 different countries, a lot of country chapters, and a lot of platforms to connect with this alumni, which is the alumni network. You'll get special discounts, including 20% of alumni discount for future AIM SEEL programs. So any of the programs you can with AIM, you can get 20% alumni discount. There is a knowledge resource center, so 18,000 printed materials, 500,000 electronic resources that you can access as an alumni of EIM. And then there are exclusive invites or exclusive events where you get invites by EIM. So this alone is, really, really nice. So a few details on the program. First is it starts on May 21st. Not a lot of days left, but enough for you to be able to enroll. There are three ways you can pay your fees. There's three different ways. One is you can pay the full fee, which would be US dollars 1,400 at once. You can also do that in two different installments. So first installment would be US dollar 785, which would be due immediately once you enroll, and then the second installment would be US dollar 643, which would be paid by August of 19th. And then there is also an option to do this in three different installments, where you can do the first installment by of US dollar 588 immediately. Second would be US dollar 441, and third would be US dollar 441 again in September 19th. So 19th of September 2021. So this is the program details. Okay, so do not worry if you are not able to capture the information. Don't worry about taking screenshots. If you want, feel free to, but you'll get access to the slides within 24 hours of the webinar. So do not worry, you'll get access to all of this material that you can again take a look at and refer to. So yeah, I guess that's it. We'll start with the question and answers. So feel free to put your questions in the Q&A box, and we'll make sure to answer all of them. And let's get started. Let me open up my chat box. So chat again is for chatting. If you can put your questions in Q&A, that would be really helpful, because it helps us track if you have answered all the questions or not. So let me open up my chat box and see what's happening. So is there a discount when you pay in full, is the question I see from an anonymous attendee. And I see that the program support of Emeritus is already answering that. So that is taken care of. Another question I see is May 21st is a Friday, so our class will begin next Friday, which is short answer is yes. I'll again take Emeritus take this question. Um, One more question is, until when is the program and how often do we meet? Professor, do you want to take this one?
I think it will be good for the program team of Emeritus to answer the question.
Sure, sure, sure.
Sure.
One more question by Ralph is that, will the program discuss HubSpot and CRMs throughout the content? Professor, if you would like to
Say
address.
that again. Sorry.
So one question is that, will the program discuss HubSpot and CRMs?
Yes, of course, definitely. Yes. CRM will be discussed in the fundamentals of marketing, and HubSpots will be discussed in the advanced digital marketing module.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. Awesome. So I hope that answers your question, Ralph. HubSpot and CRMs are going to be covered. That's really cool. So hi, what are the system requirements to be able to accomplish the needed task? So if you mean by system requirements, if you mean computer system, I don't think you need a really highly high energy or high whatever computer. I think your normal computer should do. But if there is anything, you'll see in by the answer from Emeritus. But I don't think you need anything special to take this course. It's mostly Zoom that we are going to use. Other tools and web platforms we are going to use, it will use Chrome browser, any other browser that you use. So it should be pretty straightforward. No, not to worry about that. What else we have? Hi, what are our advantages as an AIM graduate of digital marketing, most especially to those young future? I believe the program is under sale. Thank you. So, from what I know, I'll answer. One thing is, you get the certificate and the badge. You get to learn a lot, which is the most important advantage. You get the certificate and the badge. You get the alumni benefit, which are the benefits. Apart from that, Professor, do you have anything more to add? Um,
Yeah.
because
So
the one of the
yeah.
additions here, I guess, is that most especially to those young professionals who seek employment abroad. That is the focus of the question.
Yeah. Yeah, see in the alumni information a while ago, no, we have already produced quite a number of participants, right? And students and graduates, both on our grad degree programs and non-degree programs. And what we have seen is that because of the long heritage of quality education of AIM, a lot of our graduates actually land in very good jobs, no, because it's not very common for a lot of people in the Philippines to be able to access the AIM, the AIM as an educational institution. So I think for the School of Executive Education and Lifelong Learning, and now that we are giving you this postgraduate certificate in digital marketing, you'll be able to now demonstrate to your prospective employers that you now have the knowledge of of digital marketing, and then of course backed with the quality education of the provider. All right, which is AIM, which is a respectable brand, no, in Asia. So I think that's how I can answer that question.
Perfect. Perfect. Thanks, Professor. That does answer the question. If not, feel free to ask again. For everyone asking the questions, thanks a lot. Feel free to drop any of the questions you have. Please do not keep any doubt in your mind. We are open to any questions that you may have, and we'll make sure to answer all of them. So, yeah, this again goes to you, Professor. As after finishing the PG certificate in digital marketing, will the 20% discount be applicable if I plan to pursue MSIB in the future? I believe the program is under SEELL. Thank you.
All right. So the 20% discount is going to be applicable for SEAL programs. SEAL programs. No, so because we are operating in different schools, so your enrollment and as an alumni recognition will be for that. But essentially, I think we do have our admissions team for MSIB. So when they happen to know that you are a already a certificate, an AM alumni of SEAL, then essentially they can give you different, and probably offering that can help you actually in future if you take the MSCNE program. But I cannot guarantee that the entire 20% will be applicable to our degree programs, but I can 100% guarantee that any programs that you will take as part of SEAL, then you'll take 20% of that every time that you take it.
Perfect. Perfect. Thanks, Professor. Okay, one more question from Darlene is that do we have references such as books or websites that we can get help in learning? Another, do we also touch Zoom and podcast platforms? So if we do touch Zoom and podcast platform is something I'll keep to Professor Alberto. On references, books and websites that you can use that will support your learning is something I can say that would be happy to do or is a part of the program. I'll take care of that. But Professor, so additional question is, do we touch Zoom and podcast platforms as a part of the program?
Uh, okay, not so sure whether I actually understood the question, but
Sorry. So yeah, so the question from Darlene was if Zoom and podcasting is part of, or
all
how
right.
to do this as a part of the
As a
program or
topic.
not.
No, 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 no. Currently, no.
Yeah.
All right. So it's basically all the leading social media platforms. But essentially, in a way, if you want to talk about content marketing, if you want to actually create a strategy on how to communicate in that platform, but not about the platform itself. All right. So because we won't be able to actually able to tackle every single possible platforms that are available, but essentially you can be able to learn the different basics of how to reach your customers, create the right content for them, develop the right marketing messaging, as well as how to actually prepare a plan and strategy on how to be able to launch that campaign, in a digital be able to learn that.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Professor. For anyone who's putting their questions in the chat box, I really, I request you, if you can, please put the questions in the Q&A box. It just helps us track them easily. So would it be okay to still enroll even though I will give birth on June? Means there might be chances that I may not be able to attend some live online classes. Um, I think Emeritus would be better people to answer this. One more question is every module requires 80% of passing along with other activities. Your assignments are evaluated. Thank you. What happens if you do not meet the passing mark? Do we think Emeritus would be the perfect people to answer this? Or Professor, do we have an answer to this?
All right. So essentially, the predominant, so of course, we have different one evaluation is about the capstone, right? So you should be able to apply your learning through that. And then of course the reason to that is that of course we have a very high standard, no, for AIM. We just do not produce certificates, no. We actually make people learn, no? And that's how we have kept the quality of our brand, all right, in the Philippines. So if you are willing to invest, for example, in your learning journey about digital marketing, so we do have some flexibility. For example, if it's really very important reason why, particularly medical in nature and all of these things. So our classes are actually also recorded. So for those who will be able to miss the classes, then we will grant you access for a very limited amount of time, so that you'll be able to ramp up your learning and be up to speed, no, with some of the things that you've missed, no. But we will not be able, since this is not a fully online program, then we will really require that particular 80% attendance, because that's the policy of the school, and that's what we are following, in order for us to ensure, no, that when we actually certify our graduates, then our employers and all of the different people who will be able to see it can actually get that it's actually because of the AIM standard that we have employed. But then again, as I mentioned, if there will be some certain circumstances, we will definitely talk about it, and then we will cross that particular bridge whenever we're facing all of these individual and specific situations.
Perfect. Thank you, Professor. So, sorry, I see one more question, which was about how often do we meet, or how often the classes are. So just to clarify, it's a 6 months program. Uh, every Saturday we will have a live lecture with the professor, or with the faculties of AIM, and every alternative week we'll have office hours with the program leader, which will be me. I hope that answers the question. What else do we see? Where will we access the live classes? Will it be on our AIM account? Uh, the program support is live right now. Answering your question, you'll get the answer soon. One more question is that how much time outside the class schedule is expected? For example, it was mentioned there will be case studies and group activities. Will this be done within class hours or outside? I i i'll say there will be some hours, a few hours a week outside of the class that you'll work, but I think Professor or Emeritus will better answer this question. uh, okay, so a question for Professor is, if I remember it correctly, we are going to create a marketing plan for a business. Who will choose our principal company? Will it be given to us, or should we use our organization? Thank you.
Yes, it will be your own organization, because it will, you really maximize your learning if you apply it to the company that you're currently in, whether you are managing your own business or if currently employed. So it will be good for you to actually have it's the same information within the same ecosystem. So that's how we. But of course, the case studies that we're going to discuss in classes, those are best in class examples, no, or applications of digital marketing transformation. But when you are applying it, then it will be good for you to apply it in your own respective environment.
Perfect. Thank you, Professor. So, for anyone asking about what kind of time requirements or dedication do you need, the answer simply is you will need 4 to 5 hours as per your convenience, along with the live lectures that you will spend per week. So, it's basically 4 to 5 hours per week. What do we have now is I am a freelance content writer and currently in between jobs. Will we be required to have our capstone projects about our own companies and organizations?
All right. So yeah. So since you are currently a freelance professional, then what you can do is you can actually ask you to prepare some sort of a pseudo representative organization. It may actually be representing either prior organization that and then or a particular company or brand that you are familiar with. All right. So I think for your case, that would be a good representative alternative for your as a case study for your capstone.
Totally, totally. Thanks, Professor. Okay, everyone, nice questions. Keep them coming. This is nice interaction, and we are really glad that we are able to answer all of the questions. So it is one more question is that it is said here that the program starts on May 21st, but the classes and the brochures are for Saturdays. So we will be meeting twice next week. So as far as I understand, Friday is the day when you start or when you get access to the canvas to the learning management system. You'll get familiarized with that. The classes do start on Saturdays. Yeah. What other questions do we have? Great questions, guys. This is really good. um yeah, nice questions. Keep them coming. And it's good that we're able to answer questions, and these are some great questions. It just shows how excited you are for the program, which is amazing. You guys are bringing a lot of nice energy towards this, and I'm sure I'm excited. I'm sure Professor Alberto and the faculty would be excited to interact with you, to answer more of your questions, and to guide you through the path of learning marketing. One more question from Darlene is that do you have a standard business structure for the capstone? I work for an SME that has a flat structure. Will that be okay?
Yes, definitely. In all of our the capstone will be a guided process coming from the faculty from the time that we're doing module 1 all the way to module 5. So essentially, it will be a guided journey for us to be able to do that. And of course, this particular program has been designed in order for us to accommodate different types of industries, different types of organizations, and different types of companies.
Perfect. Thanks, Professor. I think that answers Manuel's question. We have an anonymous question from someone who says that I'm in between jobs, but I have been involved in digital marketing since 2015. Will we be able to learn how to structure Google AdWords campaigns from scratch? And will this also help us get our Google AdWords certification after the program?
Right. So since this is about the whole journey of digital marketing, no? So that's why if you notice in our we will definitely talk about Google AdWords and be able to do that, but we will not be able to dive into that in a much more detail because what we're trying to do in this program is to make a holistic journey of digital transformation coming from your very basic traditional type of marketing all the way to transforming those into digital platform and to be able to actually manage that in either basic and advanced level of digital in the digital space as well as incorporate that in the brand. So if you really want to specialize in a particular technique or capability or skill, then we will not be able to have that, no? Because this is really a very strategic program. That's why it's called a postgraduate certificate in digital marketing. So it's essentially for you to be able to demonstrate to your current employer, prospective employers, that you know or that you have the skills, no, of managing products and businesses, for example, in and transitioning them from the traditional platform into the marketing platform, and that's going to be much more valuable, I think, no, from a job perspective, because that is a higher valued job rather than focusing on a particular technique or skill, for example. So, but definitely we will talk about those, but not really to the point of you'll know how to code and do different detailed strategies on how to be able to do that, because definitely there are a lot of experts available in that, but there are few people who can really manage digital marketing. Okay, so
Correct.
that's a different intent altogether.
Correct. That makes sense. Because we're going to touch a lot of points, it would be really hard to deep dive on each and every aspect of marketing. But just to add to this, we'd be happy to provide you with more resources or more publicly or freely available books, articles that would definitely help you to dive deep in whichever aspect you are more interested in by yourself. And of course, I'd be happy to answer any questions while you are doing that. So hope that answers your question. Um, One more question is that May I know if we will not be able to learn the step-by-step process of platforms such as Google AdWords and Facebook ads, or just the basics of it? So I'm assuming the previous answer from Professor answers this question as
Yeah,
well.
basic as well as we focus on the strategy itself.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. One more question. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So good to see these questions. Okay, in relation to the application of the plan to the organization, do we need to get some information from my present organization? My present organization does not know that I'm joining. It's a personal choice for my own development, planning to apply to my future business, hopefully. I'm
All
assuming
right.
you do not necessarily need
Yeah.
to involve your present organization. You should be able to do it by yourself too. Professor, feel free to add.
Yeah, but it would be good for you to, of course, you have to see, you have to evaluate, no, whether what platforms, for example, you are available. Are you, do you have your own website, and what does it look like? For example, do you have a Facebook page? What does it look like? No, so at least take an inventory of a lot of those, which publicly available anyway, and then make use of those information in order for you to really learn the concepts, no, and you'll be able to now see the advantages and the disadvantages, as well as the connection of all of the things that you're doing versus what is, a perfect way of doing it, no? So that you can actually make some recommendations of some of the changes that can possibly be done, no, to enhance your strategy.
Perfect. Thank you, Professor. In fact, just one of the attendees say that they really appreciate the thorough answers to the questions and they're looking forward to the classes. Yeah, awesome. What else do we have? Let's see. Let's see if we have more questions. No. Okay. This is good, guys. Okay. Feel free to put in any more questions if you were not able to understand any of what we said. Do not mind. It's all good if you wanna ask more questions. But this was a nice webinar. What do you have any suggestions? Feel free to let us know. That's good too. Any questions about the program, about the learning management system, about how the lives will be. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think we have answered a lot of these questions, and in fact there are 50 questions that we covered, so I think we have covered a lot of this. If you still have questions, you should be able to reach to the Emeritus team through email, and we'll make sure that they will make sure that they answer your question. And this was a really nice webinar, and we really look forward to connect with you guys and do this course together. Yeah.
Yes, we will do that. Okay. So as I mentioned, step by step, yes, but so that you'll be able to know how to actually start a campaign, for example, in Facebook, in Google AdWords, but essentially not really to do the the daily grind of a lot of the specificities that you will be able to see. All right, in a much more focused kind of program, because what we wanted to do in this program is really make a holistic connection of the different things that you are doing, and not because it's not, digital marketing is not all about Facebook, no, and not all about Google AdWords, but essentially it's all about connecting all of the different elements of your product and brand strategy, as well as the brand itself, and how you connect all of your intentions in the digital space. All right. So I hope I was able to clarify that.
Totally. Thanks, Professor. That makes sense. Okay. I think that would be all for today. Thanks a lot again for everyone, everyone for joining. And if you have any questions, this is the email that you can reach to. Plus, you'll get access to this deck within 24 hours. And see you guys. Yeah.